Hello and good morning, everybody. Hopefully a nice sunny day. We've had some inclement weather over the past couple of days, but bright, sunny skies ahead. Cabinet meeting on the Wednesday the 16th of July. Agenda item number 1. Are there any apologies for absence?
Good morning, Leader. No, I'm not in receipt of any apologies for this morning's meeting.
Thank you for that. Anybody else regarding that? We'll take that as read then. Thank you. Item number 2, declarations of interest in accordance with Standing Order 16. Are there any declarations? No indications. Thank you very much for that. Item number 3, decision notice of the meeting held on the 18th of June 2025. In your notes, it's pages 5 to 14. No comments or points? Excellent. I'll move on. Item number 4, the leaders update. So I'll get the chance to tell you how we've been doing in Staffordshire and looking forward to the summer holidays coming ahead. From this week, kids across Staffordshire break up for the holidays and summer will be in full swing. I wanted to take the opportunity today to remind people of what we've got right on our doorstep and to keep the family entertained. Staffordshire is the beating heart of this country and I believe a place to be truly proud of. From the antique shops of Leek in the north to Kinver rock houses in the south, the breathtaking beauty of Cannock Chase or the Anglo-Saxon history of Tamworth Castle, there's genuinely so much to see and do. This year in Tamworth, we're actually marking the 1100th anniversary of Athelstan becoming the first king of all England, with a series of local tours to take in our fascinating history. Behind the scenes, our tourism team is putting the finishing touches to a summer campaign to help you explore Staffordshire's top attractions and get some money off too. If you've not looked at it before, take 5 minutes to Google Visit Staffordshire for information on what's on near you. And please take that chance to do that. We need to support all our businesses across the whole of the county. Next weekend, we'll actually be welcoming more than 50 of the world's top golfers to Staffordshire, alongside their fans as part of the Live Golf Tournament at JCB headquarters. What an opportunity to showcase Staffordshire to the wider world. It really is a magnificent opportunity, and let's just hope that we can take full advantage of that. We're really keen to do more to put Staffordshire back on the map, not just because we're proud of the county, but because it deserves the recognition and the investment. If you're looking for something really close to home over the summer, the council is coordinating a whole host of community-based activities. A free holiday activities programme is running over the summer months to give children eligible for free school meals the opportunity to try new things and get a hot meal too. The Summer Reading Challenge, the theme this year being Story Garden, is now running in our libraries with hundreds of events planned to encourage youngsters to read at least 6 books over the holidays. Last year we saw 10,000 children start the challenge and more than 6,000 complete it. We would love to see more of you get involved this year. It's not just something fun to do, it helps our children become better readers and sets them up for success when they are back at school. And it's so important that our children learn to read and we push those reading levels as high as we possibly can. And of course, as we head into August, there'll be lots of young people and their parents anxiously waiting for their school exam results. I want to wish them all the very best of luck. If you're worried about what happens next, we've set up a new dedicated helpline for school leavers, so you can get the best advice and the best options for you. There are many roads to success, and we can help you find your way. Finally, I want to congratulate all those who have been shortlisted for a Dignity in Care Award this year. We've had 110 entries this year. What you do to care for elderly residents and those with additional needs is inspirational and genuinely life-changing. With that, I'll move on to the next agenda item. Minutes of the meeting of the Property Subcommittee held on the 2nd of July 2025, pages 15 to 18. Are there any comments or points that anybody would like to raise before I sign the minutes? We're all happy? I am more than happy to sign the minutes then. I shall pass those over. Thank you very much. Item number 6, Staffordshire means business. I'll turn to the Deputy Leader and Cabinet Member for Economy and Skills for the report.
Good morning. This month, I'd like to focus on some of the businesses that we have in Staffordshire, which continue to put the county on the map. We know that Staffordshire is the place to live, work, invest and play. Now, over the last month, we have had a couple of royal visitors to the county who have seen for themselves what makes this county so great. His Royal Highness the Prince of Wales visited St George's Park to meet with the England's women's squad ahead of their departure to Switzerland for the UEFA World Women's Euro 2025 tournament. The Prince also met with a number of the junior girls football team who were formed after the Lionesses' victory in the Euros 2022. St George's Park is of course the home of the national football team. It's incredibly proud that it's based in Staffordshire. Not many people know that. Some of the most innovative companies call Staffordshire their home. One of our most recognisable, internationally renowned brands is of course JCB and their iconic yellow digger. In recent years, JCB has invested 100 million in developing hydrogen engines and hydrogen-powered equipment, which has for the potential to transform the agricultural and construction industry. More than 100 engineers are involved in this project, and the Chancellor of the Exchequer, Rachel Reeves, has recently visited JCB headquarters in Rochester to see for herself the pace and scale of the programme that is being made. JCB have also recently exhibited their hydrogen technologies at the Royal Highland Show in Scotland, where His Royal Highness the Prince Royal spent several minutes talking to the JCB engineers. These types of innovations shows that the technologies of the future are being developed right here in Staffordshire, and they will be delivering the jobs of the future, grow our economy and ultimately put the money into the people's pockets. However, JCB and other companies are not able to progress on these developments on their own, and government investment will be required, including in our own local and national infrastructure. And this council will continue to make the case for securing investments in Staffordshire. Last month, I updated the Cabinet on 3 Staffordshire companies which had received the 2025 King's Award for Enterprise, award to businesses for outstanding achievement. During a visit, Staffordshire, the Chancellor again took the opportunity to visit one of these companies, Cozy Direct, as part of the launch of the government's trade strategy. Cozy Direct supplies educational resources for schools and nurseries, now employs 110 people, sells more than 6,000 projects, ranging from wooden toys to eco-friendly furniture. The company now exports to 45 countries and has seen the value of overseas business rise to 3.2 million this year. A major reason why this company won the award for the international trade category, it is of course great to see that Staffordshire businesses are being held up as example for all businesses across the country, once again highlighting that the county is the centre of innovation. The County Council will of course continue to do all we can to support our businesses to success. We know that global events, particularly the war in Ukraine, has raised the importance of ensuring we have secure supply of energy, reducing the risk of future events having such a large impact on the energy bills of our residents and businesses. This is why we must focus on energy saving engagement with businesses and the public. We will gain far higher level in energy efficiencies by engaging and showing businesses ways and methods of energy saving that will help their businesses by directly reducing their running costs. Finally, as we are now about to head into the school summer holidays, I just want to touch on our visitor economy, which I highlighted last month as being one of the most important sectors. Following the success of two of our businesses being recognised at the National Visit England Awards last month, our attention is now turned to our local awards for 2026, which we have continued to grow year on year. Entries for the 2026 Visit Staffordshire and Stoke-on-Trent Tourism Awards competition have now opened, and once again, winners will go forward to the chance to compete for the business across the country at the national awards. These awards are a fantastic way to raise the profile of our visitor economy and present us with an opportunity to celebrate the incredible tourist attractions and businesses we have within this county. And I'd encourage any business that may be interested to find out more and get involved. This week is, of course, the end of the school year, and for many of our young residents, and I therefore just want to take the opportunity to encourage people to take advantage of the many attractions we have in our county. We, of course, recognise the challenges in keeping children entertained during the summer holiday, and will therefore once again be highlighting the activities taking place across the county, many of which will be completely free. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Murray. Moving on to item number 7, Street Lighting LED Invest to Save Initiative, Phase 2, pages 19 to 32, and I'll ask the Cabinet Member for Strategic Highways, Councillor Mason.
Thank you, Leader. This follows on from the successful delivery of the Phase 1 Invest to Save, which saw 48,000 LED lights installed to replace the old sodium lanterns. That is now delivering in the region of £2.2 million per annum saving on our energy costs in terms of reduced energy usage. And Phase 2 builds on that, and it seeks to invest £4.9 million in replacing another 15,000 old sodium lanterns with modern energy efficient LEDs. We have benchmarked that 4.9 million costs against other councils and adjacent councils in the works they're doing, and the 4.9 million stands scrutiny and shows very favourable returns in that respect. This phase is slightly more complex because Phase 1 did replace a lot of the domestic type lights in streets and that, and this goes more into the commercial areas, the bigger lanterns. But as a result of that, we do see higher energy savings as well, so it strengthens the business case. It will reduce our energy consumption by replacing these 15,000 street lights by about, or just over, 5 billion kilowatts of energy use per annum. And that, at current rates, represents about £1.2 million per annum saving. So the straight savings over 4 years will replenish and cover the costs of this investment. What you've been asked to approve today is taking this formally through to delivery as Phase 2, and via contract change with our PFI contractor, Lighting for Staffordshire Limited, which is delivered by E.ON over a 2-year period. The work's fully funded from the 6.2 million PFI reserves that we hold, and it will be drawn down over 2 years, 2.5 million in year 1, 2.4 million in year 2. As I say, the saving of 1.2 million over 4 years will allow us to replenish those reserves. There is relatively low risk, and the only risk year is really 26-27. The remaining 1.9 million we hold in reserves we feel is more than sufficient to cope with any further energy fluctuations in the costs that we pay during that year. Beyond 26-27 we start to realise savings anyway, and it starts to reduce our energy consumption. They do cost slightly more up front, but they last longer, they have lower maintenance, and they have less failures. So even without the energy saving, over a lifetime, there is a business case for replacing with these kind of lights. So two things really. The Cabinet is asked to approve phase 2 of the street lighting, Investor Save initiative, and to fund it from the PFI provision. And I'm also asking the Cabinet to authorise the Director of Economy, Infrastructure Skills and his nominated officers to finalise and enter into a supplementary agreement with the Lighting for Staffordshire Limited, allowing this delivery to commence. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor. Any comments, any points of order, anything anybody would like to raise at all in addition to that? I am looking around the room. I'd just like to say, this is great stuff, and I personally like to thank the officers for doing this. This is a really good example where we can put an excellent business case together to improve the lighting, to make it more efficient and more effective, more environmentally sustainable, but actually save a lot of money to the residents of Staffordshire. And if we're going to do these kinds of things, then there has to be a really strong business case. We are here to ensure that we make every penny count for the people of Staffordshire. I'd like to thank the officers, and I'd personally like to thank everybody involved in this project. Are we all happy to agree the recommendations of Councillor Mason?
Agreed.
Right. Agreed? No dissensions? We will take that as approved. Thank you, Councillor. Item number 8, residual waste disposal framework, pages 33 to 40. And I'll ask the Cabinet Member for Connectivity, Councillor Miners, please.
Thank you very much, Leader. Again, I would like to thank the officers and team behind this. I think this has been a very well thought out project, and we did some digging deeply, and the money that they're saving working from day to day, £5,000 here, £5,000 there, is very important. This residual waste disposal framework is critical to make sure we can meet our statutory duties in the event of unplanned outages at Handford ERF, Energy Recovery Facility. That's a 30-year-old facility, so obviously it perhaps has its teething problems. We're part of the waste supply agreement of Stoke-on-Trent City Council. Staffordshire will need to ensure compliant facilities should Hansford ERF be unavailable. Changing pipes, work over, sometimes it can happen for a few weeks. The framework will only be applicable for the districts and boroughs who already deliver their residual waste into Handford ERF. It's the County Council's duty as a waste disposal authority to dispose of the residual waste collected by the districts and boroughs across Staffordshire. Currently, we do this via the W2R for Energy Recovery Facility and the Handford Energy Recovery Facility. Typically, only in East Staffordshire Borough Council, Newcastle under Lyme Borough Council, Stafford Borough Council and Staffordshire Moorlands District Council dispose of their residual waste via the Handford ERF. To reduce the risk of the County Council in terms of responsibility for operation and maintenance of this ageing facility, the County Council entered into a waste supply agreement with Stoke-on-Trent City Council on the 1st of April this year. This agreement secures the disposal of 55,000 tonnes of residual waste while ensuring the County Council meets our statutory duties. The remainder of Staffordshire's residual waste is deposited via the W2RF-ARF contract. 35,000 tonnes figure aligns with the volume of waste of the county where there's no alternative but to deliver the waste directly to Handford. As suitably publicly owned transfer station facilities are not available in the area for onward transport. So again, it's key for effectively managing our waste delivery and the whole teamwork with collection. Thus, this agreement enables Staffordshire County Council to ensure statutory disposal obligations are met for this direct delivered material for the full contract term. The remaining 20,000 tonnes is currently bulked via a waste transfer station, Staffordshire Moorlands District Council via leak transfer contract, and East Staffordshire Borough Council via Wiltsheats Transfer Station. This framework provides a contingency solution in the event of a planned or unplanned outage at Hansford ERF, and will ensure the continuity of the service for residents across North Staffordshire, whilst providing value for money. So I move for the recommendations that we approve the following procurement process for the successful suppliers be appointed to the Residual Waste Disposal Framework Agreement, and provide delegated authority to the Director for the Economy, Infrastructure and Skills to allow contract to be approved for execution, and that the authority is also given for the affixing of a common seal by signature as appropriate and in accordance with the Council's processes. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Miners. Any comments or points of order? Anybody have anything they'd like to say? Deadly silence today, isn't it? It's great. Must be the weather. We have one hand gone up. Councillor Coles.
Oh, thank you, Councillor Miners. We have actually been through this with you and looked in detail at this. I just think it's very good due diligence of the officers to plan for any outages. We've seen in other councils where their bins haven't been collected and things like that can have a knock-on effect. So I just think it's very good due diligence of the council to do this.
Yeah, thank you, Councillor Haley-Coles. That's perfect. I agree with that. And I think a lot of people, they see it out of sight, out of mind. But when we have discussed and dug deep with the officers, there's a lot of work going on here. And as you say, when I've even looked at the hour by hour of what they're doing to save £5,000 here, £5,000 here operationally, we want to see a continued successful, efficient, cost-effective business for the people of Staffordshire. Thank you.
Okay, thank you for that. Any more comments or points of order? Can we, would you, councillors, like to accept the report? Or we say aye?
Yes. Aye.
That's an aye. Thank you very much. Item number 9, Treasury Management Report for the year ended the 31st of March 2025, pages 41 to 68. Cabinet Member for Finance and Resource, Councillor Large.
Thank you, Leader. I'm presenting today the Treasury Management Report for year ending 31st of March 2025. Cover all the Treasury activity between the 1st of April 2024 and the 31st of March 2025. And it's a retrospective report for information. The Treasury Management covers the authority's strategy and processes of borrowing, lending and cash management. This is done taking into consideration the interest rates and the economic conditions prevailing at the time, both nationally and globally. The Council takes a prudent and low-risk approach to Treasury management, focusing on the security and liquidity of funds. The activity performed is in accordance with all the external and internal regulations, and is regularly monitored by the Director of Finance and Resources. This year, the Council repaid 28 million of external debt during the year, and by using cash reserves rather than borrowing more, was able to achieve savings on debt charges in what remains challenging financial times. By following the approved investment strategy, the Council was able to gain returns on its investments of 21.7 million, which was higher than the benchmark when considering risk above return. As a council, we will spend and invest carefully, focusing on our priorities and targeting our resources where they are most needed. So I recommend to the Cabinet the Treasury management activities for the year ending the 31st of March 2025, including the prudential indicators outturn details in Appendix 3 and B, note and approve the use of the minimum revenue provision at the 31st of March 2025 of 19.673 million, as set out in paragraphs 25 and 26. Thank you, Leader.
Thank you, Councillor Large. Are there any comments or points that anybody would like to raise at all regarding that? I'd just like to say thank you to Councillor and all to the officers again for that. We will transition over time from one administration to the next, where we will be looking at our own financial strategies across a range of different things. So that's excellent to hear. I look forward to the future going forward with our own MTF strategy and all the financial elements within that. Can I get a recognition and acknowledgement and to support Councillor Large's report? We will take that as approved then. Thank you very much indeed. Item number 10, Better Care Fund 2025-2026, pages 69 to 80. Cabinet Member for Health and Care, Councillor Rogerson. Thank you.
Thank you, Leader. Just like to thank the officers and that for the hard work that they've done and over the last 12 months and that bringing this. The Better Care funding is aligned to funding that is used to fund a range of health, social care and housing services. The aim is to avoid hospital admissions, facilitate timely hospital discharges and avoid admissions to long-term care. Some of the funding comes to the County Council, some of the funding goes to the Integrated Care Board. The funding that goes to the Integrated Care Board is then transferred to the County Council, and the Disabled Facilities Grant comes to the County Council. It is then transferred to the district and borough councils. The Better Care Fund is overseen by Staffordshire Health and Wellbeing Board. The Health and Wellbeing Board have approved the 25-26 Better Care Fund plan, which has now been approved by the NHS England. The County Council now needs to enter into a Section 75 agreement with the Integrated Care Board. This is in order to implement the Better Care Fund plan. This allows funding to be spent on services in line with the plan and allows a transfer of 28 million from the Integrated Care Board to the County Council. Further discussions are required to ensure the County Council gets its fair share of the funding of the Integrated Care Board's allocation of the discharge fund. The Health and Wellbeing Board will receive regular reports on implementation of the Better Care Fund plan and the performance of the various services. The recommendations I bring to the Cabinet is note that the March 2025 Health and Wellbeing Board delegated final approval of the Staffordshire BCF plan for 25-26 to the Health and Wellbeing Board Chair, and that a coveted plan for Staffordshire was approved and submitted on the 9th of May 2025. Point B, note that the Council will transfer the 25-26 Disabled Facilities Grant to the District and Borough Councils, as required by the Ministry of Housing, Communities and the Local Government, now the Department of Levelling Up, Housing and Communities. C, delegate authority to the Director of Health and Care to enter into a legal agreement for the 25-26 under the Section 75 of the NHS Act 2006 in order to implement the BCF plan. D, delegate authority to the Director of Health and Care to enter in appropriate legal agreements with the NHS organisations under Section 75 of the NHS Act 2006 and or Section 256 of the Health and Social Care Act 2012 to allow the Council and the NHS organisations to commission health, and social care services on behalf of one another. Thank you, Councillor.
Could you just turn your mic off, please? Thank you, Councillor Rogerson. Is any comments or points of order anybody would like to raise? Any elements whatsoever? I must say it's quite a comprehensive report. I'm looking through all the recommendations. There's quite a shopping list here. Quite a shopping list of all the different pieces within that. Again, it's a really comprehensive report, and I'd like to thank the officers and all those involved for doing it. I will then ask everybody, are you happy to accept Councillor Rogerson's report?
Aye.
We will take that as agreed then. Thank you very much. Item number 11, Integrated Performance Report, Quarter 1, 2025-26. Leader of the Cabinet Member for Finance and Resources, Councillor Large.
Thank you, Leader. This is the Integrated Performance Report, Quarter 1, and it covers the performance data from the 1st of April and the latest forecasts for both revenue and capital budgets. These forecasts are for the whole of 2025-26 financial year and will be updated quarterly as the year progresses. The report is for information with a recommendation that the allocation of the extra social care grant announced in the final settlement be approved. This is split between health and care and children's and family directorates. The latest forecast on the revenue budget is an underspend of £250,000, which is 0.03% of our budget. This demonstrates strong financial management as services are keeping within their budgets. Despite this, the Council faces external pressures from increasing levels of demand and increasing care market prices across both adults and children's social care. In addition, the savings being required by the NHS are likely to have a significant impact on council finances in the Health and Care Directorate. The overspend on the high needs blocks is forecast to be 38.5 million this year, and this will increase the DSG deficit to 90 million by the end of the year. The extension of the statutory override means that this deficit does not yet have to be funded by the council taxpayers of Staffordshire. The capital programme shows a forecast spend of 170.6 million, with additional funding being allocated to highways at the start of the year. This additional funding is partly from central government and partly additional county council funding allocated in the MTFS. The financial health indicators are showing green ratings, which further underlines the robust financial management that we have in place. So I propose this to the Cabinet and present that forward. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Large. Again, I'm going to ask any comments, questions, points that anybody would like to raise at all before we look at the document. No? Okay. I will move members to approve the report. Aye. Thank you very much for that. Item number 12, forward plan of key decisions, pages 81 to 86. Any points on that at all? Looking around the room. Happy to accept that at the present? Members happy to accept? Okay.
Aye.
Item number 13, exclusion of the public. The Chairman moves that the public be excluded from the meeting for the following items of business, which involve the likely disclosure of exempt information as defined in paragraphs of Part 1 of Schedule 12A as amended of the Local Government Act 1972 indicated below.